It's about the Prime Minister, actually the former Prime Minister, Mr. Ranil Wickremesinghe's address to the Parliament today. He mentioned that the the command of the Sri Lanka Army is actually same as head of a department of government, because it is same as the Department of Army Affairs. So he then mentioned that because of that there is a coordination problem as the head of the COVID control program, being the command of the army and the chief of defense staff with the other government departments. But the actual thing is not that, and he cannot attribute the failure to that reason, because when the war ended, the government gave all the credit to the Sri Lanka army, and accordingly government this time also used the army to counter the COVID-19 pandemic. Not only that, once the war ended, government thought it's the army that won the war, and used all the army officers for the development work after 2009 without knowing the real background of the war victory. Now in this way, the COVID-19 responsibility the government gave based on that understanding to the army, that the army would be able to successfully handle it, as the government believed that the army was successful in destroying the LTT. But the thing is, in this situation we can see the COVID-19 is more like a biological weapon. It's like a man-made virus that has come from China probably. So, and still the army failed to curtail it, the COVID-19 virus. So there are many reasons for that, but one of the reasons is that the command of the army, Mr. Shavendra Silva, is under a travel ban to USA. And also the army, about I think 57 officers are restricted by the United Nations Human Rights Commission. And not only that, it's not only the army that led the war victory. So because of these reasons, the army obviously failed to do the COVID-19 operation successfully in Sri Lanka. That is one reason. So Mr. Ranil Wickremesinghe highlighting that army commander has nothing to do personally with him, that of course Mr. Savendra has helped him earlier. Those things are very very childish talks in a parliament. The real facts are not those. The real facts are that the army being under investigation, and also the war victory was not really due to the army alone, and because of these reasons the army could not carry out the COVID-19 successfully. So this is where the government had gone wrong, and Mr. Ranil Wickremesinghe's proposal to give the responsibility of COVID-19 curtailment in Sri Lanka to the cabinet of ministers, which he says made up the President, Prime Minister, the Ministers of Cabinet, and the public service operations, would not help, because it's same as the same cabinet failure to handle the war for 30 years after being transferred to the full responsibility to the army only, the war successfully ended. So, but here, giving back the COVID operations to the government would not help, because it would become a political issue then, and it would go on for another 30-40 years. The real facts of war victory must be investigated, and accordingly those people must be given the responsibility to curtail the COVID-19.